or my dot camera maybe. Uh-oh, share. There we go. What you read so that you could have answered these questions. And then we're going to go over the answers real quickly. There's only 8 questions. It shouldn't take us long, and then we'll get right into today's lesson. Oh, my dot camera is opening so slow. All right. So you had some questions about, oh, yep, sorry. Thank you for reminding me. All right. Some questions about it. So if you have your book nearby, you can look at page 46 and 47. I don't know why it's all, let's see if it, there we go. Just to remind you about, it was all about eating. Lizards, for starters, most lizards are insect eaters, insectivore, but some have special diets. So that very first sentence gave us a clue, right? About insectivore, it told us insect eaters, insectivores. Now that from that very first sentence was pretty important because that connects to the whole rest of what we're going to be reading. And then you have insectivore over here. You have binge eater over here, the Gila monster. And so binge, you can guess that he eats a lot when he can. The vegetarian is right here. Then we have the cannibal, which is down at the bottom. And then this is frog food that moves. Most frogs are carnivores. Nearly all of them eat insects and other invertebrates, like worms, spiders, and centipedes. Invertebrates. So then we have over here, we have the jelly eater, sea turtles, the cruncher. So cruncher was the loggerhead turtle. Otherback turtle was the jelly eater. A frutivore. All right, so think about when we know about carnivore, think about when we know insectivore. And here's the mighty eater. This was our poison dart frog that we had from before. And the sponge muncher. So thinking about all of those words, this is pulling up that, getting those out. But I want to show you some of the answers. And then if you have any leftovers, this is all, and I'll take it because I just need another reference. That would be great. You think this is your possible one? You're missing one? All right. Okay. So, wrong one. There we go. All right. So, I'm going to show like the version because my friends at home, you took this version. First, then you guys need I just need something to look at. All right. So the first question said, what is the connection between lizards for starters? So that my screen is not for my friends that are in person at the moment, is it? Too small. You should be reading your own paper. So you're looking at number 1 on your paper. Now, my friends at home, you're looking at the screen because these are your questions. So that's your question. Okay. So number 1, what is the connection between lizards for starters and the insectivore? Paragraphs on page 46. So we had the insectivore and the lizard for starters. Our choices were the lizards for starters paragraph introduces lizards that eat insects. The insectivore describes a lizard that eats birds. Does that make sense? The insectivore eats birds. No. So should that be your answer? No. The lizard for starters paragraph introduces lizards that eat plants, and the insectivore describes a lizard that eats plants. Does an insectivore eat plants? No, it eats what? Insects. So it's B our answer. No. The lizards for starters paragraph introduces lizards that eat insects, the insectivore that describes a lizard that eats insects. Is that our answer? Yes, because they both eat, the connection is they both eat insects. So our answer should have been C. Number 2, what is the connection between the information on page 46 and 47? So the whole thing, we're talking about the whole thing. Well, A, all the paragraphs on each page describe what frogs eat. Is that our answer? No. Why is that not our answer? Because does it just talk about frogs? No. Yeah. B, all the paragraphs on each page describe what frogs and other animals eat? Yes. And then the C is all the paragraphs describe where frogs eat. So that last one, my friends, that's the kind of answer that people circle when they don't read all the questions carefully. That word where instead of, maybe what. Reading each of those carefully. Number 3, which creature is found or is featured as an example of an insectivore? All right, so we go to our page. If you have that page still out, if you see it says the insectivore, what is in dark print on the insectivore? I'll move my dot camera for a minute. So here where it says insectivore, the insectivore, so it says which one is featured? Well, it's in dark print, right? It's in dark print. So, yes, some of you still have trouble with this one. So is it the Gila monster, the cyanide agama, or the green iguana? Which one should it be, A, B, or C? B, because B is the cyanide agama. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4. So flip your page. My friends at home, I'll go back to my page so you can, oh, whoa, what in the world happened there? Okay, here you go, my friends. Which creature is featured as an example of a carnivore? So again, if you have your book in front of you, open to page 46 and 47, you can find a word carnivore, and it will help you. There, find out, is it the American bullfrog, Zikadom's Brazilian tree frog, or the green iguana? Which of those eats carnivore? So carnivore eats other animals or things like that. What is it, Miss Honey? A. It is the bullfrog. Very good. So if you find it, it will tell you that that bullfrog is that one that we had for our all those kind of things. And if you found green iguana, you can see it says the vegetarians. That definitely isn't our answer. And the Brazilian tree frog is under frutivores. That's definitely not our answer. Which creature is featured as the herbivore? So if you picked the American bullfrog for the last one, that definitely isn't going to be your answer for this one, is it? No, carnivore and herbivore. So it actually tells us what an herbivore is in here. So what is an herbivore? What does an herbivore eat? Lila. Eats plants. Is a type of a plant, right? Yep. So carnivore is eating other animals. You might also hear the word omnivore. Omnivore is eating plants and other animals. When I say other animals, that can be other insects as well. So the one that's going to eat just plants? Is it going to be the American bullfrog, the leatherback turtle, or the green iguana? Is there somebody at home that can help me with this one? Miss Astria, which one do you think?
The green iguana.
The green iguana. Good job. I can see your mouth moving. I have the sound going.
You're very accurate.
Say it again, Miss Haley.
You are very echoey.
Oh. This is Aubin may catch her sound on perhaps. Or Miss Aubin's unmuted. Ah, there we go. Is that better, Haley? Yeah, okay. All right. So next question. We're almost done, friends. Which words from the text help the reader understand the meaning of insectivore? Some have special diets, eat animals such as birds, rodents, or lizards, insect eaters, plant eaters. Insectivore, which one should be the correct answer on that one? Part B of number 6. Uh-oh. We're not very awake today, my friends. Come on. Which one of those helps you understand? Oh, I skipped a one, didn't I? Sorry. What is the meaning of the Latin root vor as it is used in the word insectivore? Is it special, a bug or insect, to eat, or to break apart? Which one do you think, Cernay? We're doing number 6. To eat. So frutivore eats fruit. Insectivore eats insects. Herbivore eats plants or the plant. So what does the vor part mean? It means to eat, right? To eat. So a lot of you a lot of you picked because it said insectivore, a lot of you picked a bug or insect, but it's the vor part that has to do with eating. And then, so part B, which part helps the reader understand what an insectivore is? It's insect eater, right? It's right there in the paragraph. In fact, I showed it. It says most lizards are insect eaters, insectivores. I tell you exactly what it means. Number 7, on page 47, the Brazilian tree frog is called a frutivore. What do you think the author means by this? I'm going to make sure I scroll down for my friends. Sorry. What do you think the author means by this, and why do you think so? So frutivore. If we know vor means to eat fruitivore. Ellie, what do you think? That it eats fruit. So this one was worth 2 points for us. And so if it eats, you had to have eats fruit, and then you had to have some sort of other part in there to explain it to get that second point. So a lot of you put the root vor means to eat, or it has the word fruit inside it. You had to break the word down a little bit and tell me, why do you think it means to eat fruit? All right. Last one, number 8. It says, what is the meaning of the word store as it is used in this sentence below? The Gila monster stores fat in its thick, stumpy tail. Is store a place where things are sold to keep or save for future use, or a large amount or plenty? So let's think about that sentence again. The Gila monster stores fat. That's an action, right? It's an action. He's storing fat. So is it going to be a place where things are sold? No. Is it like King Supers? No, he can't do that, right? It's not a place because that's a noun. And we know this is a verb. He stores. So is it going to be a large amount or plenty of something? No, because that's also a noun. That's not an action. How about to keep or save something for the future? Yes, very much so. It's to keep something for the future. Thank you. All right. So we just wanted a chance to go over those because Mrs. Aubin and I, talked to some of you about your writing already. So you've already gotten over that part, but we wanted to make sure you understood what those questions are, because as you know, we're going to always be having, comprehension questions asking what you understand from the reading, right? So we always want to go over those questions and those answers afterwards. All right. So I'm finished with that part. And now we're going to get to what is the actual point of today's lesson. So let me get to my learning targets, move things around here. This is Aubin, just so you know, I just let in my friend Gavin. Okay, well, I just let him in again. I don't know. All right, I just wanted you to know. All right, so our adaptations in Wide World of Frogs are getting close to the end. Very close to the end. And today is a very fun day because we're going to start making our Freaky Frog books. And so our learning targets today are: I can design an eye-catching front and back cover for my Freaky Frog book that will make other students and adults want to pick it up and read it. Because I'm sure from going to the library at some point, or even in my classroom, Mrs. Aubin's classroom, or anytime you've ever been to a bookstore, when you see a book, what's the first impression you get? The front, right? What the cover looks like. Do you there's a phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. But in all reality, if you don't like the cover, are you likely to like to open up the rest of the book? Probably not. You're going to be attracted to pick up that book by what it looks like on the front and whether it looks engaging and you want to look at it. So today we're going to look at some different types of front covers, and you're going to actually make a virtual book and make your book cover today, and your book, the back cover as well. So just and we're going to choose, My learning target, the second learning target is I can choose words for the front and back cover of my Freaky Frog book that will make other students and adults want to pick it up. So not only is it the look of it, right? But then the next thing you do is read the title. Does it have a good title? And then you might look to see if there are any other words that are interesting on the front or the back to pull you in before you even open it up, right? So today, that's what we're focusing on. You're going to have to think about what's going to make somebody want to open this book up and read it. So our performance task has to do with our trading card. We are going to be making those next week. Mostly next week. And so the trading card will go inside, or will, for my remote friends, you're going to make, it's going to be part of your virtual book. My friends here, you're going to have an actual trading card, the size that you guys did for Miss Monroe, right? Okay. So we're going to work on that next week. But again, you're trying to get somebody to open this book so they even come and see your lovely trading card. So performance task. Again, this is the big thing. This is our grand finale, putting everything you've worked on for the last 3 units together to show others and your parents. We are going to have a little celebration, not in person, a Zoom celebration for parents to join us, and for you in person to see the remote books and the remote friends to see the books from here. So we are going to have a little celebration, not this Friday, but the following Friday. So you want to do your best job, because you're going to be able to possibly share this with your parents in a Zoom, in a Zoom situation, and your friends and you'll also have it on your Google Drive. So if a parent can't come because they're working or they're needing to be somewhere else, you'll still be able to show it to them as well. But think about what your book will contain. Your book will have your pourquoi. You haven't thought about your pourquoi since before Christmas, have you? We're going to drudge that up. That's going to go in your book. You're going to have your paragraph about adaptations. You're also going to have the essay you just wrote and finished yesterday. And you're also going to have your trading card in there. So there's lots to have. So what I'd like you to do right now, just the book we've been using for all of this. Everybody take your book. Just look at that front cover. What do you notice about our front cover? What do you notice? First thing, what do you see? Max Fox. You see a frog. What's our book mostly about? Frogs. Does it make sense to see a frog in the front? Yes. Does our reader immediately get an idea what this book might be about? Yes. What else do you see, Madison? You see words. What are those words? You're right. The title certainly better tell them what the book's about, right? So what is our title of this book, Abby? Everything you need to know about frogs and other slippery creatures. So do you assume that when you open this book, it's going to have a lot of information about frogs? Yes, everything you need to know, in fact, right? Now, is it everything about a frog? No, but is everything you need to know about a frog? According to this author, yes. But is it just about frogs? No. So what does it say at the bottom? And other slippery creatures. All right, so that's our front cover. It's got a name. Now, this book has been written by many people. Yes. So, and we know this because they have, when you look in a little further into the book, it does tell us that lots of people worked on this book together. So there is not an author. But on your book, is there going to be an author's name? Yes. Whose name? Yours, right? You're going to have an author's name on there as well. Now, everybody look at the back cover. What do you notice about the back cover? What do you see there? Miss Haley Booker. So you see some pictures of possible what? Animals that might also be in this book, right? And are those some pretty interesting pictures? What do you think? Mr. Sawyer, do you think those pictures are pretty interesting on the back? Yeah, okay. So some of them are really up close and big, and some of them are far away. They have them spaced out. They don't have them in an organized fashion. Mr. Leo, what else do you see on that back cover?
Some information about what the book's about.
Very good. And we call that a blurb. And I'm gonna show you another example of a blurb. But there's a little bit of information about what that book's about, because does the title always tell you everything? No. So usually most books have what we call a blurb on the back. All right. And this one says, this is no ordinary book. This is everything you need to know about all sorts of amphibians and reptiles. It's crammed with fascinating facts about frogs and staggering statistics about snakes. It has the lowdown on lizards and turtles. And that's not all. So what did you notice about the words that they used right there? What did you notice about the words, Robert?
At the beginning, they did green for this book is no ordinary book, and red for this book is everything you need to know about.
Very good. So you can use different colors for your words to make an impression, right? You can use, and so you're going to be able to do that as well. You can change the color of your font. Now, would it make very much sense if that was yellow? Would we be able to see it very well?
No.
So is yellow a great color for us to be using probably for writing?
No.
But could we use green?
Yes.
Yeah. Could we use red? Yes. We can. So let's think about what colors will make sense for you. We'll see. The amazing stories and astounding ideas, all backed up with hard facts on anatomy, life cycle, and behavior. What else do we see besides words? What else is on there? Abby?
There's like this green type of color, and it's fading into white.
Okay, so the background is interesting. So you can spend a little time on your background to get that eye catching. You want to get your reader to read it, right? All right, Moran, what else?
I see this thing when you go to the store and you have someone check it out. They scan.
Ah, it's got a barcode. Guess what we're going to include on ours? We're going to have a barcode. It won't be a real barcode, but it'll look like it because all books are when they scan them to buy them, right? What else is on there? What else? There's a little symbol at the bottom that stands for something. Anybody have any guess, Paxton? DK. DK is that when the little symbol stands for the publisher. So the publisher always wants everybody to know who, that they are selling this book and which kind of book it is. So we're also going to include our publisher. Now, this book does not happen to have a price tag, but do many books have a price tag on the back?
Yeah.
Yes, or how much that is, how expensive that book is. So I just want you to look at some other book, and we're going to see. I'm going to pull up. Oh, I got to put my little friends away for a minute. All right, so take a look at these books. And these are books that I just have pulled out of our regular, or all of our frog books that we've been using over the time. So do you notice anything about the title of these two books? What do you notice about the titles? Serne?
I don't listen, but I also know something about
Okay.
they sometimes think that titles like bubble letters.
Yep.
And like really skinny letters. It's like drawing that
Okay, so those letters are trying to gather somebody's attention, right? Can they be colored? Yes, but they're definitely big, right? They're bold, they're big, so we can tell what our book is about. Yes, Ms. Cerny, you have a question?
Can we, for our book covers and backs, there's actually these books where the front cover goes and connects to the back cover.
If you would like to try that, it's going to be on slides. So you're going to do this virtually, but we could possibly work that out, Ms. Cerny, that definitely. Okay, so we have, again, our publisher symbol. We don't need that necessarily. This one has a price on the back. It has our barcode. What do you see on both of those pictures right there? What do you see that's really obvious? Sunny?
They both have frogs.
They both have some pretty big pictures on the front of what their subject matter is, right? Okay, I'm going to go to another one here. What else do we know? So here's our titles again. Titles are nice and big. Do they tell us basically what our books are about? Yes. This one even has, let me see if I can move this around a little bit so you guys can see a little better. This one even has some words that are enticing you to read it. The coolest and deadliest cold-blooded creatures. Okay, so this has our author across the top. This one does not, because it probably is a book written by multiple people, right? Now, do all of them have to be pictures that we, like photographs? No, look at this one here. So what obviously did the author or the illustrator do for this one? Max Fox?
That for sure did not look realistic because, like, it didn't have the super big details like the skin.
Okay, so how do you think how did they form this? They drew it. Okay, so today you are going to have that opportunity as well. If you would like your picture to be on you want to draw and include it, we are going to use your Chromebooks to take a picture of your drawing, and we're going to upload it into your front cover. You don't have to do that. That is an option because some of you are super good, super good artists. So I want you to be able to do that if you want to. So let's take a look at this real quick because I want to get you started here soon. Front cover, clear image showing what the book is about, right? Large, easy to read fonts. If they can't read the word frog or freaky frog or whatever you're putting on your book, is somebody likely to know what it's about? No, because you have to, that the reader has to be able to read it. Should it have a short title? It can. But should it tell the reader what the book is about? Yes. So this one's Frogs, Strange and Wonderful. This one's Amphibians. Everything you need to know about frogs. Did you notice that Mrs. Harrison put that title in her assignments? She shortened it a lot and just said your frog book, or just said everything you need to know about frogs. Sometimes they left out the part about other slippery creatures. Why do you think I did that? Is that hard to do every time? Yes. So do you really want a title that long? Probably not. All right. Think about the back cover. It's got a short description of the book. Like Mr. Leo said, there's just a little bit of what we call a blurb about, it's just a few sentences to show what your book's about. That's all you need. You need a price. You need a publisher. You need a barcode. You need pictures. Again, some you've drawn if you'd like. Miss Cernay had that idea that the front cover could maybe reach to the back cover, that we can make that connection. And that blurb could include some interesting questions or information that makes you want to read inside, just like our book told us that we had. It has the lowdown on lizards and staggering statistics. All right. I have some other books over here that I wanted to show you. So it doesn't just have to be frog books too. This could be, they're books about other things as well. This one's Totally Amazing Sea Creatures. Here's that big picture again. Let me put my dock camera back on here for a second. My friends can see. Here's this amazing, so Totally Amazing Sea Creatures. Nice title, big, obvious. Here's my big picture. Just try to eat me, he says on the bottom. Okay, on the back, Totally Amazing Creatures. Dive in and meet an eel that swims 4,000 miles to lay her eggs, and a fish that blows up like a balloon. You can even find out what hagfish and vampires have in common. Okay, so does that make you want to open up the book and maybe read what it's about? Maybe. Outside and inside sharks. So the outside of sharks, the inside of sharks. Do you think we're going to learn about their insides as well as their outsides? Yep. Here's our author's name. Here's our blurb. How does a shark find its food? What is a shark's skin like? Do sharks lose broken and worn out teeth and get new ones for as long as they live? Why does a whale shark that is as big as a city bus have such tiny teeth? Why do sharks have to work to keep from sinking? So those are all questions, but where do you probably find the answers?
In the book.
In the book. In fact, it says outside and inside answers all these questions and others. One more. Here's a book about penguins. Again, here's our title, nice and big. Here's our picture. Flip it over. Set your eyes on nature as you meet penguins, birds that waddle, hop, and toboggan. They use their wings to swim, not to fly. Okay, so see how a blurb doesn't have to be very long. It can be questions. It could be some statistics. It's anything that makes us want to dive into that book and read. So here are some back covers again. Here's our, just a nice little blurb. This one says, the king cobra can stand and look you in the eye. The saltwater crocodile bites with the strongest bite force on the planet. Some simple things that you found that were interesting that you think somebody else might find interesting. Look at that picture. He's looking at you. Here's our barcode. Here's our price. Hey, Mr. Finn. Here's our publisher. Scholastic is our publisher. Here's another back. Here's our pictures. Here's the blurb. This one, again, is real short. This one here has our barcode, our publisher, and our price is down in this corner. All right, one last book. I like this one because I like the blurb on this one. About half of a frog's bones are in its feet, which can wiggle and grip things almost like hands. These wonderful feet help frogs climb, dig, swim, and even hang upside down. So just a little bit of information, but yet makes me want to read. Like, wow, almost all of its, half of its bones are actually just its little tiny feet. And here again is our barcode and so on. All right, so remembering what we're going to be including, I'm going to leave this up as we're working. When we get to that part real quick, here's another blurb. Here's Mrs. Harrison's blurb from her book. Why do pollywogs wiggle? How did the glass frog get its name? In the Freaky Frog book, you will find the answers to these and many more questions that you may have about frogs. You will also learn about the physical and behavioral adaptations of a particular freaky frog and get to play a game with a freaky frog trading card. Now, you guys haven't made those yet, but just know that there'll be one of those as well that's included. So did Mrs. Harrison on her blurb include a little bit of everything?
Yeah.
Yes. You don't have to do that. That's just an option. Okay. So here I'm going to show you my freaky. I haven't started it completely yet. I'm just going to show you how to manipulate it a little bit. Oh, is it not going to let me do it? Oh, here we go. All right. So my friend Lennox, who's a super great artist, I borrowed a picture of yours. I hope that's okay. I meant to ask you before I did it, but I wanted to make sure. Oh, what is going on here? Why didn't it just open it? All right. Let me make sure. Oh, here we go. There's mine. There you can see it big now. All right. So here's my title. Here's my my cover. Now, I'm not done with it yet, but I wanted to show that this is Lennox's wonderful thing that he did in art. I'm going to take it off because it's not mine, but I just wanted to show that you can draw. I'm going to give you paper. You can take a picture of it with your Chromebook and we can upload it into your cover page. All right. So, and I can also change its size. When it originally was on my page, it was like almost all of the picture. So you can do that. You can also make it big and then put your words that you have and you can layer them and arrange it so that they are in the front, so that he's behind it and my words are in front. I don't know that I really want to do that in this case though, because again, I'm not going to eventually use that one because that's my friend Lennox's, and I just wanted to prove that you can use your own picture inside your cover. Here's my name. I'm author. Now, obviously I should really have put 3rd grade because some of the writing is actually yours as well. But I wanted to show you, we're just focusing on 2 pages today, the cover and the back cover. Okay, the front cover and the back cover. So you don't need to worry about all the other pages, but I'm going to show you, you're actually just going to make a copy of a template. But I wanted to show you how I got some of these things. So I typed in Freaky Frogs by Lori Harrison. I'm now going to insert another picture. So if I don't want to draw it myself, I'm going to click on image. Does everybody see how I did that?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go to image, click on image, and then I'm going to say search the web. If you do your own picture, you're actually going to pull it out of your Google Drive or off of your computer, off of your files. But I go over here and it's going to give me some names. Now, I put in water holding, I put all the types of frogs in. So if you wanted to use that kind, and I wanted to show you the water holding frog stuff because I wanted to show you, they show you, the computer is only as smart as the computer is, right? So it gave several things. Does that look like a water holding frog? It does. Is it the exact one from our book? No. So if I click on it and I say insert, Again, it's going to place it, and then I have to change. Oh, I shouldn't hear any voices right now. Then I can change the size and I can move it around and so on. I might, and like we said earlier, I probably don't. I want a lot of different pictures that are interesting. If I go back to insert, I want to show you that just because the picture was at the top, if I wanted other water holding frogs, oh my, what's it doing? All right, insert. Well, I can download from my good old thing, but I'm just going to search for the web. Water holding frog. I want you to see some of these water. Oh, come on. All right, so when I scroll down, I have a lot of frogs that are obviously not water holding frogs as well. But if I keep continuing scrolling, now this picture is this, should this picture with, which is obviously a cartoon, probably go on our book? Probably not. All right, I keep scrolling down and I see all kinds of different frogs. And eventually, so just know that, oh, how about this one? Yeah, is this a water holding frog? Yes, but was it near the top? No, so you do have to do some scrolling to see what you might find as you go through. Is this a picture we want to put in there? No. All right, because it's a frog ticket, but it's not something I've written. So are there things that we shouldn't have in our book? Yes. So again, you know, you're going to see a lot of things because the computer is only as smart as the computer, right? All right, so there's my front page, and here is my, so I'm going to show you real quick. Here's my back cover. All right, here is where, remember how I read this out loud to you? Why do pollywogs wiggle? How does the glass frog get its name? In this Freaky Frog book, you'll find answers to these and more questions that you may have about frogs. There's my blurb. So you have a place to put your blurb. I put in a text box. You just need to click in it and type maybe some questions, maybe just one little statistic, whatever you want. I also have the Harrison Publishing Company. You can make up your own name for your publishing company. You're the one that are publishing it. So you're gonna, oh my, hold on. So when you go to do that, you're gonna go insert, text box, and then when you click on wherever you have it on your page, it's going to give you a text box, and that's where you can put and you can use different fonts. You can go up here and, you know, I used a silly font down here. The publishing company doesn't have to be as easy to read, right? It's not the title. So I made that one font a little more fun. I also put, I went in and searched. So insert, image. I searched the web for a barcode. There were a bunch of barcodes that came up. I just chose one and put it and clicked and inserted it in there. Decided my own price. Now, I don't care what price you put, but ladies and gentlemen, it should not be, it shouldn't be ridiculous. Pick something like, you know how Mrs. Aubin says, when you make a, you know, prediction of a number, she says a high number and a low number. Don't, you know, if you know a number's too high, then somebody's not going to buy your book for that. Don't give that amount, okay? So I said mine could be $12.99. That seemed reasonable for my book. All right. There are many other pages between here and there that I don't want you to pay attention to today, that we're not working on today. All right. So I'm going to show you how to get the template, and I'm going to get you started working. You're going to have a lot of questions. How do I include this? How do I include that? It'll be okay. This is a lot of it's experimentation and a little bit of work with your friends. So this is what you're going to get to begin with. Blank screen, pretty much. You have to keep all the slides that are here, so don't worry about those yet. But you're going to say it says title here. You're going to click on it and put your title. You're going to click down here. You're going to put by, and you're going to put your name, right? Your name, not mine. All right. And then you're going to be able to insert all your pictures and so forth. When you're finished with your front cover and you're ready for your back cover, here's where the back cover, and it says type your blurb here. You click, just get rid of those couple words. There you go. I'm going to put up the slide that has all of the things you need. So don't worry about that. So if you forget, I don't remember what goes on the front cover, I'm going to put that up so you can see it. Yes, Mr. Fox. If this is your Freaky Frog book, you don't have to call it Freaky Frog book. You can call it whatever you want, but this is, think about what's in it. Your pollywog story, not your pollywog story, sorry, your porpoise story, So think about what your pourquoi story was about. Is there a crocodile in your pourquoi? You probably don't want, then you might not want crocodiles then, because crocodiles aren't in yours. Think about what you've written about, your adaptations. Think about what your essay's about. Think about what your pourquoi is about, what that story was about. Some of you had all kinds of different animals in that pourquoi story. Yes, Miss Byrne.
About your publishing company.
Yes.
Does that have to end in publishing company?
It should be a company of some sort. So, what were you thinking?
I was asking because I didn't want it to be publishing company.
What would you like instead?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. So, if you have a question, Mrs. Aubin and I are here for you. Yes, Abby? Sure. Probably not over $25 because most books, unless you're writing a huge chapter book, are less than that. August. Oh, shh. So August asked a question. He said, are people actually going to be, no, you're going to be sharing your book, but no, they're not actually purchasing it. It's this. So, well, that's because you're putting a price on it. Yep. That's part of what a book has. Ellie, question? Oh, excuse me. I'm listening to Ellie now. Thank you. Yes, pictures on, do these books have pictures on the back? Yep, you definitely do that. Yep. All right. So this is what I need you to do. So let's get started. So I want everybody to open their computer. So my friends who are, listen first. I shouldn't hear so many voices, just the movement. Okay, this is why my friends at home, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna open it. You're gonna go back to our Google Classroom. Everybody go to your Google Classroom. And then you're going to click on classwork and then look at the very top one. Mr. Cooper, very top one at the top. It's not under this week. It just says Freaky Frog Book Template. So click on that. Click on where it says Google Slides. All right, but you can't type here because it won't let you. What you got to do is does anybody remember what we did last time when we needed to make our own copy of something? What did we do, Lyric? Do you remember? We made a copy. So go to File. And then right down about the fourth thing down, it says make a copy of the entire presentation. And it will make your one. Okay. Yes or no? Okay. Well, you might have to come plug in with up here, perhaps then. All right. So did you make your own? Yes. Okay. So once you've done your own, my friends at home, did you all get one of your own? Give me a thumbs up if you got one of your own. Sawyer, do you have a question, buddy? No? Mr. Gavin, did you make a copy? Yep. Mr. Ben, did you make a copy?
How do you make a copy?
So you go to Haley, go to File. And then see where it says make a copy?
Yeah.
And then you say entire presentation. And then you're going to type whatever you want to type the name of your book here. And then hit OK. And then it'll make your own. Ben, does that make sense? Okay, good. Logan? Logan. All right, my friend Logan's not. Miss Isabella, did you make your copy? Okay. All right, Leo, got yours. Good. All right, let's see. Mr. Jensen? Jensen, did you get yours? Did you make your copy? Thank you. All right. Haley, did that work out? Haley, did you get your copy?
What do you get again?
Okay. Haley, I didn't hear that. Try that again. Yes, I would love that.
It's gonna take another month or two.
Oh, I would love that, Lucas. I would love that. All right. Okay, what was the question? So, well, yes, within reason. You remember, it has to tell your reader what the book is about. So let's go back to, remember what we have here? So Miss Haley, look at what look at what it says here. Let me get the front cover. Has to have large, clear image showing what the book is about, a large, easy to read font, short title telling reader what the book is about. So should it be about tornadoes? No, should not be about tornadoes. Okay, this is all in there. All right. Okay, so that's actually my next thing is if you would like to draw a picture and upload it into your or into your I have a bunch of paper and we asked you actually to bring some things to color with if you would like them. So if you think you'd like to draw something, you're going to take a picture of it basically and we'll import it into your thing. I will put some paper up here. You may grab a piece of paper. And then if you use that one and you need another one, you can always get that. My friends at home, if you want to draw a picture, go ahead and you can grab a piece of paper, draw a picture, and I can help you upload it. I can tell you how to upload it into your document. All right.
Can we change the color to make it?
It's your book, Miss Sunny. Just have to be able to read it, right? So, Haley, I could tell that you were trying to talk to me, but unfortunately, I couldn't hear you, sweetie. Could you try it again?
I don't know if I'm at the right place.
Okay. Does it look? Does your Google Slides look like this? Does it say title here? And by?
Yeah.
Okay, so then this is your copy. So you can type inside it and start including things on your front page and your back page, your front cover and your back cover. So
Okay.
Yep, you can do that. All right, Leo, are you doing okay?
Miss Harrison.
All right. Yes.
I don't know what to put in. Like whenever you go to file, I don't know what to put in name.
Did you put your title? Did you put your title? And you put your name by Sawyer Jensen?
No, I didn't do that yet because I haven't done the copy.
You haven't finished your essay? Are you working on your essay?
I can, but I don't know how to copy that. Really.
So watch me, Sawyer. Are you on my page? Do you see my screen? Okay, so when you go to classroom, so in your classroom, it's at the very top. Did you see that, Sawyer? Then you click on the Google Slides and it opens it. Okay, then you go to right here, it says File. Sorry, it's still loading. It's still loading. Let it finish loading. So see how it says File? Sawyer, click File. And then see how it says Make a Copy? Click on Make a Copy. And then it says Entire Presentation. Can you click? So then you click Entire Presentation. And now it's going to give you a place to type in the name of your book. All right. So you can type in the name of your book. So Sawyer's book or whatever, or Sawyer's Freaky Frogs or whatever you want to name it. And then you hit OK. And now you have your very own copy. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back to my page of the things you need in your, here's all of the things you're going to need on that front cover and that back cover. I'm going to get rid of mine. I can do it. All right. All right. Let's talk about titles. What do titles need on all of our important words? No, important words need to have what kind of letter? Lyric. Capitals. So if you said all about Amazon horned frogs, like my friend Max, make sure that all of your important words have capitals. All about Amazon horned frogs should all have a capital. Unless it is the word the or of or a. Most of those don't have lowercase letters, but all of them, so you can, so that's great. So do you want it centered?
No, I kind of do.
So then you highlight it, and then you hit line and center, and now
I forgot what I do.
find a picture,
Yeah.
insert, image, search the web. All right,
And I just click it and
and then you type, well, you have to type what you want to search. What do you want to search for? Can you put the frog horn inside your, did you write your, oh, yeah. Or you could, your title is up to you. All right, how my friends at home doing?
So I'm reciting it right now.
So you're working on this right now. You're working on your front cover and your back cover. Yep, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And there's all of the things you need are all right there. We're gonna work on this again tomorrow, so no worries. All right.
What are you expecting of them right now?
They should be working on their front cover and their back cover. Either one, both.
The title and then
Everything that's listed right there.
Miss Harrison? Oh, look at you guys be creative. Awesome.
I found the picture from
Alright. Okay, so you gotta make a towel?
Oh yeah, I have that picture. I found it though.
So now you know. All right. Okay, coming back to my friends. Sorry, I got up for a minute. Did anybody have any questions that I can help here? Nope, Astrid is good. All right. Haley, what can I do for you, babe?
How do you get a picture onto your document?
Okay, so you're gonna go up to insert. Do you see insert?
Okay.
Click on
Okay.
insert. Then it says image. Click on image. Then if you say search the web, you click on search the web, and then it's gonna at the top. It's gonna have a place to search. So you're gonna type whatever you want to type in there to look for: tadpole, pollywog, frog, whatever you want to do. And glass frog, Amazon horn frog. It has all the different kinds of frogs. Then it's going to show them when you hit enter. It's going to show you a bunch of them, and you click on the one you want, and then and then you click on insert, and it'll put it on your page.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Lee, you doing okay?
When you guys are all changing backgrounds, I just want to remind you that if your background is so dark and you have a light font, we can't read it.
Yep, your reader has to be able to read. No yellow. That's why I said Mrs. Harrison said no yellow in the printing because it's hard to see.
Black is the best, or if it's a dark color or a lighter color.
Yeah, be very careful. Well, that's in the picture though, right? So, yeah, so I would make it smaller so you can see the.
I can't really see.
Okay, I'll show you.
More, or what does is move it down.
So when you do, so that little cross thing is to move. But when you do there's a little thing here. See the arrow? The arrow will make it smaller. Okay, now you have a new skill.
So I drew a picture of the Gosford's eyes that I want to put in it.
Very
I took
cool.
a picture, but it got my hand and the light. But
Okay, so take another one. So go ahead.
How close does it have to be to not be blurry?
To not be blurred. Okay, so let's make sure that your camera is cleaned off because it might be your camera that's blurry. So go grab a Kleenex, wipe it lightly. All right, Jensen, you doing okay? All right, Isabella, you doing okay? All right, Logan, how's it going? How's your covers going? All right, yes, Jensen, you have a question?
How do you make a barcode?
Say that one more time.
How do you make a barcode?
The barcode.
Yeah.
So when you're on your back page, search, do the insert image, and then type barcode into the search, and it'll pull up a bunch of different ones you can pick.
Okay.
Okay. Gavin, how you doing? You doing okay on your cover and your back cover? Okay. Oh, that's excellent. Good.
Good thing I know how to draw.
All right, so what I would do is put it down on our desk.
I'm so glad I used pictures. I love it.
All right, so it looks like you're ready. Hey, I love how you guys are helping each other out. You guys are great. Okay, we got 1 more minute for today, and we'll continue with this tomorrow.
I got him back to his original size.
Perfect. He looks much better. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody take a deep breath. All right, got a good start today. Tomorrow we will continue on. So don't worry that you're not finished. I didn't expect you'd get done entirely done today. So if you, my friends at home especially, if you're right in the middle of something, again, if you wish to take a picture of your own drawing, just use your Chromebook to take that picture. And then when you go to add it to your, you just insert and you just add it from the computer instead of from the web. All right. But I can help you guys with that tomorrow if you're struggling with that. All right. We do have to go ahead and wrap it up for today. It's pretty exciting to make these new books, isn't it though? It's really fun. All right. This is all the grand finale, I tell you. All right. Here we go. So I will see you guys later. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. You guys, this presentation, if you need anything, it's on today's assignment, right? My presentation. So if you want to know what goes on a back cover and a front cover, you can look on it from there, okay? It's right. It's just all there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, and we'll see you guys at All Block or at OG. All right, my friends.